3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Murphy. Welcome to Metagame Minute. I am one half of the Brothers Murph. By the way, happy 2020, happy new decade. May this be the best decade of board gaming ever. Going into this new decade, I've been sort of reflecting on the past decade and times before, and so I just want to take a little bit of time to share a little bit of my personal story. A lot of folks who have watched us long enough know this part about my life. And I just had a birthday. I just had a birthday before my birthday, because I actually have two birthdays. I have what we call the belly button birthday, my birthday of the day I was born, and I also have a sobriety birthday. My sobriety birthday is January 5th. My actual birthday is January 11th. And so the 5th just passed, and I was able to kind of reflect on the past and kind of enjoy the present and also look toward the future a little bit. And it got me thinking about the board gaming hobby and just how much I appreciate this hobby and what it provides for me and for lots of people that I have seen over the last number of years that I've been in this hobby. Just it's kind of a safe haven for a lot of people. So this is kind of an interesting one. Hopefully it's a good talking topic or what have you, but it's just a little bit more of a, I want to say thank you for everyone out there that participates in the hobby, everyone out there that helps promote the hobby in a positive way and creates space for people who maybe don't always feel like they have a place to go, a place to be. I got sober before I started playing board games. It predated it by a little bit, but I just know that having board games in my life and stuff have significantly improved my life. I've met awesome people, made great friends. I've got to travel and do all these amazing, cool things, all because like silly board games and rolling dice and playing cards and stuff. And like, it blows my mind what it provides for the world. So one thing that I want to talk about that really makes me stoked about board games is that for someone like me who doesn't partake in substances anymore, it's awesome that board games is one of those activities out there that you can do and it doesn't require any other stuff. You don't have to drink or do other things or whatever. And some people do like to have a beer or something while they play games, which is totally fantastic and amazing. That's great. But one thing I love is that, like, you know me, I could play board games. We have something to do. We have a social event that isn't centered around drinking and stuff like that, which is one thing that I learned kind of after I cleaned up and realized like how much of our society is based around food and drink. And it's cool that board games, there's a lot of places it's very family friendly and stuff. So there's just not as much of the wilder side, we'll say, to it. Not that there's any problem with that once again, but it's just like cool that there's this really amazing hobby where people get to come together, be social. For me, I know it's a little easier because we have a game to focus on, so I'm not so anxious about everything because I do deal with anxiety. We have this awesome common denominator, this thing that unites us all, this board game, this interest, this hobby we have, and why it's so fun to go to conventions and talk to people, because we all know we have at least one thing in common. And it's just awesome that we have such a cool hobby where you can come in and, you know, for someone like me, I feel like there's something that I can partake in, where in some other areas I feel or have felt a little less comfortable because I can't partake in all the parts of this activity that people want to do. So that's something that I just really appreciate about board games. And again, I'm not trying to come down and say like, hey man, you can't have a drink or whatever while you play games. Enjoy the hobby the way you want to enjoy it. That's fantastic. I can't enjoy it some of the ways that everyone else enjoys it because I'm just going to enjoy the other part and I'll be gone out of the game before long. Those are just the cards I was dealt in life. So anyway, this is kind of a rambling mess of one. I don't know if I have a call to action for you to put in the comments below. I just want to say thank you for being out there, for creating a really cool freaking activity that everyone can participate in. Families, kids, grandparents, everyone can participate in, because it's hard to find that. And it's really hard to find activities sometimes where we don't try to give ourselves the liquid courage and all of that. It's kind of cool that board games kind of create that same buffer of safety to kind of like, I can sit down and talk and get to know these people. It's just a really groovy thing that I've just kind of been reflecting on lately. So thank you to board games. Thank you to the hobby. I'm thanking Bits of Cardboard now, but I just appreciate each and every one of you that make this hobby great. Let's continue to make this hobby something that's incredibly accessible for people. Because there's a lot of folks out there, myself included, who are looking for safe havens out there. We're looking for places where we feel like we belong, places we can be ourselves, come out of our shell a little bit, and just exist. And the board game hobby definitely provides me with that. So thank you to the hobby. Thank you to all of you that make the hobby, because it is you that make that hobby. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna get out of here. I've wasted plenty of your time. Thank you for letting me open up a little bit to you and share a bit of my story. It's a proud part of my story. It's one that I'm proud of my history and where I am today. And making this crazy, kooky career. So anyway, folks, I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, and just remember, however you like to play games, whatever you like to do, whatever beverage you like to have next to you, it's all great, man. It's all great. Just do it with positivity and love, and we're good. Cool? Just remember, the more meta, the more beta.